Welcome back to the podcast. We are here for the UFC Fight Night. Anthony Smith against Alexander Rakic coming tomorrow. I wanted to wait for this video so I get the weigh-ins and official ins and outs for tomorrow's card. And there were two people that missed weight, Hannah Cyphers and the replacement for Alice Caceres, which was Austin Springer. They both have been fined, but the fights will go on as scheduled. So that is totally fine because last week was a total shit show. So we got no more, no more fill-ins. Everything is correctly in order. We won't have any problems. So let's hop into the card. First fight. They moved it around because Sean Brady was supposed to be starting off the card, but they got the first two women fights at the beginning. Mallory Martin going up against Hannah Cyphers. We recently see Hannah Cyphers. She's a very, very small chick, 5'1", going up against Mallory Martin, which is 5'4", I believe. Mallory Martin's going to have the reach advantage by 2 inches. She's coming from a great camp in elevation. Hannah Cyphers, Shockwave. She's on a 3-fight losing streak. We've seen her in her last fight getting totally dominated against Maria Agapova, who just got obliterated. Well, not obliterated. She basically took her whole gas tank out in that fight against Shayna Dobson. But what she did to Cypher was absolutely embarrassing. And then on Martin's side, had her debut against Rina Chindroba, who we saw a couple cards ago, who's a beast and looking for her first win, Mallory Martin. Now, Cyphers, for some odd reason, is facing a lot of these debuting chicks and becoming a straight punching bag. Her size is a huge problem. It wasn't at the beginning of her career. Now it's a problem. Cyphers has poor takedown defense and gets outstruck. And this is a very, very good opportunity for Mallory Martin to use her bread and butter and get her first win in the UFC. Unfortunately, Hannah Cyphers, you're a veteran in the game, but your size is a problem, and the fact that you can't handle a wrestler is another problem. Mallory Martin's going to bring the fight to you. Understand she hasn't had that many fights yet. You've had 16. She had 9, but Mallory Martin is it's a battle styles, and it's going to clash against yours. You're going to need takedown defense. You're a boxer. You want this to continue on the stand-up. But I see Mallory Martin definitely taking you down to the ground and finishing you that way, or just at least to work a decision, because that's how women fights are. All right. So we're going with Mallory Martin with the first fight. Next we have Emily. What's her name? Ellery Whitmire going against Poliana Viana out of Brazil. And we're going to look at the measurables here as soon as it loads up. Emily is on Brady going up against Christian Aguilar, which is supposed to open up the card, but it isn't now. It's going to be the third fight. This internet's acting crazy. Now I got to go back to the beginning. Hold on. Let's go back to the beginning right there. Like I said, Sean Brady going up against Christian Aguilar. Aguilar, we seen him. It was like 3 months ago going up against Anthony Ivy. He totally destroyed him. Anthony Ivy was more of a wrestling type. As soon as he got hit by one of Aguilar's bombs tests against a one-dimensional fighter, grappler because he really didn't put up a fight. Aguilar definitely packs some punch, but Brady is an absolute Swiss Army knife. All right, he has precise leg kicks, very good boxing, has a good ground game as well. He's coming from Gracie, Renzo Gracie Philly camp, and he has that black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he's super well rounded. I think he's going to provide too many things for Christian Aguilar to handle. He has good boxing and very good power, but Sean Brady's going to take him down. Or he can stand up with him. He can definitely stand up with him in a trade. I see Sean Brady. He's at minus 400 right now. He's a better prospect. Christian Aguilar, I understand. You had a nice, good debut win, but Sean Brady's just on another level. 12-0, undefeated, and you're not going to be the guy that's going to beat him. It's probably going to be a more experienced dude to, give him his first loss, and that'll be a learning lesson. But let's see. Sarah's supposed to fight Giga Chikadze would have been a really, really good fight. And then he was supposed to fight Kevin Kroom, and now he's fighting Austin Springer, who's coming in on very, very short notice. Springer was on season 2 of Dana White's Contender Series, has power, and 7 out of his last 12 wins have come by TKO or punches. Okay, so he definitely has to watch out from that. Alex Caceres is a UFC veteran. Bruce Lee Warrior is his nickname. Original opponent was Giga Chikadze, but he backed out. Currently on a 2-fight win streak. Alex could be on a roll with this win right here. He's very flashy and creative fighting technique, and well-rounded. You saw it in his fight against Chase Hooper, who's mainly a wrestler. He uses takedown defense against him, and took him down as well, and then finished him with his own karate. So Alex Caceres, Swiss Army knife. He's very, very well versed. That's why you look at his record. He's already has 28 fights, very up and down, but he should be able to handle Austin Springer in this fight. All right. Next fight is going to be Zach Cummings going up against Alicio De Chirico. When you saw this weigh-in between these two guys, you can really, really see the size difference. Alicio De Chirico is a bigger guy. Zach Cummings is a veteran, has been fighting in the UFC since 2013. Very, very crafty guy, low output, relies on his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and any mistake will lead to a submission. He's really, really good in the clinch and on the ground, and he's going to have the upper hand in those situations. Di Chirico runs his own gym in Rome, Italy. Very up and down on his resume. Has fought good competition, solid defense, low output, but very, very accurate when he does throw. He has a problem with his cardio, so that's not good when you're facing a veteran like Zach Cummings. And then you have questionable losses. Like you lost to Eric Spicely. That is a huge problem. Eric Spicely is not good at all. I'm leaning towards Zach Cummings in this fight. This can go either way. It's very, very 50-50 fight, but I'm going to go with the more experienced fighter in Zach Cummings. Next fight, we have Maki Pitolo on a really, really quick turnaround. He was on the card 2 weeks ago against Darren Stewart, who got him in the guillotine choke. He probably was pissed that you literally lost in the first couple minutes and by a choke. He definitely had an opportunity to beat Darren Stewart because he likes both of these guys love to box and have power. He's going up against Impa Kasanganay. I can't even say his last name. Kasanganay. I tried. Kasanganay. Whatever. He was in the Contender Series. Not that much experience. He's very, very raw. He's only 7-0. He just fought even in a shorter time than Maki Pitolo, which was he had his last fight on the 11th, I believe. He has very crisp boxing, mixes in leg kicks, has a lot of power. He doesn't have much of a ground game. So these two guys are going to basically trade shots. Maki Pitolo at least has a ability to take him to the ground. I'm going with the redemption narrative right here. Maki Pitolo is absolutely pissed that he lost to Darren Stewart the way he did. He's going to take advantage of this young kid, Impa, whatever your last name is, and defeat him in this middleweight bout. All right, get his revenge and his redemption and move on. Impa, very raw green prospect. This was going to be a learning lesson, and you need to work on probably your ground game because I think Maki Pitolo is going to take you down in that world, and I'm not sure you're going to be ready for it. All right. Next fight, we have the rematch. Magomed Ankalaev going up against Ion Kuchalaba. This is part 2. The first one was an egregious stoppage from the referee. Clearly, Kuchalaba was playing possum, and the referee kept jumping in and out, thinking that he was dazed and he's about to get knocked out, but it wasn't. He was trying to draw Ankalaev in and invite him to a huge right hand that Kuchalaba kept throwing. Because Ankalaev likes to fight from range. He wanted, and if this turned into a brawl, that's what Kuchalaba wants. He almost got that. He was getting it to happen, but the referee stopped it. So in part 2, a lot of people are going to be on Ankalaev's side saying that he dazed them and he clearly was dominating that fight. To me, if you look at it, Kuchalaba was smartly playing his opponent, and all the attacks Ankalaev supposedly dazed him with, he was blocking clearly with both his forearms, especially the leg kicks. He threw like 3 of those and he blocked all of them. So I want to go with Kuchalaba. He has the power to stop Magomed Ankalaev, who is a prospect, a huge prospect, 13-1 currently. Kuchalaba was the same thing, but I think he is absolutely pissed. You've seen it in the face-off. Like, these two guys absolutely hate each other. Kuchalaba is going to use that energy and get his redemption. You're going to see a theme here, redemption. Kuchalaba is going to get his redemption against Ankalaev and show you who really was supposed to win that fight if it wasn't stopped. All right. Next fight is Ricardo Lamas going up against Bill Algeo. This is a clear-cut mismatch. I don't even have to break this down. Bill Algeo has the card stacked against him. You're in your UFC debut and you're going up against an absolute monster. And I understand he's 30 years old. He's probably past his prime. But this is a rookie going up against a veteran, and you're playing in his realm. You're a wrestler in BJJ. Ricardo Lamas has faced tons of guys that are way better Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belts than you. So unless you want to trade shots with him, if you look at Ricardo Lamas' record, he's only losing to dudes that are top tier. Not no Bill Algeo, who's just got an opportunity the last 2 weeks as a fill-in. No. You see Ricardo Lamas right here lost to Calvin Kattar. You know Calvin Kattar is the top of that division. Absolute monster. He's about to get a title shot. Misrad Bektic, an absolute beast, and that was a split decision. Josh Emmett, we just saw him destroy Shane Burgos with huge power. Like, the only top tier guys are going to finish Ricardo Lamas. Even if you think he's on his last leg, I'm taking the veteran in this one. This is one of my guarantees of this fight card. We're going with Ricardo Lamas over Bill Algeo. All right. Next fight, we got a couple more. We're in the last 3 fights of this main card. Ji Yoon Kim going up against Alexa Grasso, who's moving up from strawweight to flyweight. She's going to have a better opportunity in this weight class. Too bad for her. She was fine in that strawweight class, but the fight she was given with, she's facing chicks that have very good wrestling, and that is her Achilles heel. But this is a gift from Dana White. Ji Yoon Kim is a striker, so we have a striker versus striker matchup. I'm going to go with Alexa Grasso in this one. All right? And make her have a nice start in that flyweight division. All right? Dana White picked it on purpose. They're like buddy, and he's seen it. This is definitely a fight she should win. Next fight, we have Robbie Lawler, the great, the legend, the former champion, going up against Neil, the Haitian sensation Magny. Um, there's a lot to say about Robbie Lawler. He's an absolute legend. I get it. He's also 38 years old. On his last leg, you can clearly see it. In his last couple fights, he's on a 3-fight losing streak, losing there. Rafael Dos Anjos, Ben Askren, and Kobe Covington. Now facing another top-tier talent in Neil Magny in this one. The problem in this fight is range. Robbie Lawler needs to move in on his opponents and cut the distance off. Neil Magny is 6'3" and has 80-inch reach. Neil Magny can pick you apart from length, from distance, all day long. It doesn't matter. And if he comes in, and if Robbie Lawler comes in, it could be a very, very short fight. You give Robbie Lawler the puncher's chance because he is a veteran and he is a legend in the game, former champion. He basically has a shot in that first round. If he gets out the first round and doesn't knock out Neil Magny, it spells trouble for him, and it's pretty much over because Neil Magny is going to just eke out a decision. It doesn't matter. He usually does that anyway. All right. So we're going with Neil Magny in that one. Range is going to be a huge factor against him. The way that Robbie Lawler fights. Okay. Now we have the main event. Alexander Rakic going up against Anthony Smith, and we've seen Anthony Smith very, very recently. Right when the pandemic started, right before the pandemic started, actually, going up against Glover Teixeira, who Anthony Smith pulled the Maria Agapova, killed his old gas tank in the first 2 rounds. You could see it coming, and once he does that usually in every fight, but once he let it all out, it was absolutely over. Glover Teixeira basically ground and pounded him for the last 2 rounds, and that's Anthony Smith in the fucking gist. He's going to give you his all in those first couple rounds. You just have to outlast him. And he's not going to be able to take down Alexander Rakic, who has an 88% takedown defense. This is going to be a striker versus striker matchup. Alexander Rakic, 12-2, barely lost his last fight. He was on like a 10-fight winning streak. This dude is an absolute monster. You can see in that picture right there. He's totally cut out. He's bigger than Anthony Smith. He's a better striker than Anthony Smith. And look at all these wins. What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It was like 11-fight winning streak. Barely lost to Volkan Ozdemir in that split decision. A lot of people felt it was Rakic's win as well. So you could say he was a 12-win winning streak. Now he's facing Anthony Smith, who just took a ton of damage in his last fight. I'm sticking with Rakic's Muay Thai background. I think since this is going to be striker versus striker, I'm going with the better striker, and that's Rakic. And he'll go on to the next level, probably pass him in the rankings. He'll probably go to 5th overall in the rankings in that division, and definitely, be a problem for that number 1 contender spot. All right. So that is going to be the card breakdown for UFC Fight Night. Anthony Smith against Alexander Rakic. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at MessengerD. I will be back tomorrow with another video. We got to get back into the football. Drafts are coming this week and definitely next week. So I'm going to be putting out more content in the football realm. All right. Thank you guys and peace out.